Hello, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Sophie.
Today we're going to have a look at questions and changes of intonation within different questions. So the first questions we're going to look at are tag questions.
What are tag questions?
They're statements followed by a little tag question like, isn't he? Or haven't we? For example, it's a lovely day, isn't it?
And you will see that we can use these tag questions to express certainty or uncertainty depending on the intonation pattern used. So these will be quite important, but they're also quite subtle and they can be a little bit difficult for non-native English speakers to understand or to immediately notice or be aware of. So we're going to give you a couple of examples. So, Natalie, you love your job, don't you? Compare that to, you love your job, don't you?
Not really.
What was the difference there? So in the first one, I used a downward intonation on the tag question. So you love your job, don't you? Don't you? So here I'm expressing certainty. I know that Natalie loves her job. I don't need an answer. It's a rhetorical question. I'm just confirming, emphasizing, and I'm using that tag question to do that precisely, to emphasize. So whereas in the second scenario, when I said, you love your job, don't you?
Here we have a rising tone.
Don't you? So I'm using a rising intonation because I actually need an answer to this question. I don't know the answer.
You need
I'm not
confirmation or denial of this fact.
Yes, so it's not a rhetorical question. I need Natalie to give me an answer. Okay, what's the next set of questions we're going to look at?
We're going to look at questions where you're either seeking information, you want to know something, you want to find out something, and we're going to compare that with the question where we're actually seeking clarification if we haven't heard the answer properly, or a reminder because we've been told at some point previously but we've actually forgotten it, so we're just asking it again.
So for example, Natalie and I have just met at a party. Natalie's just told me that she lives in Spain. Ah, so where in Spain do you live?
Malaga.
Okay, and compare that to, where in Spain do you live?
Malaga.
Okay, two different intonation patterns were used here. So I said, where in Spain do you live?
So in this question, the key words were where and Spain, because you want to know where in Spain. Where in Spain do you live?
Where in Spain do you live?
Do you live is not stressed. The intonation goes down because do you live is not important. It's not new information. We already know that I live in Spain.
So I just want to know where in Spain. Where in Spain do you live?
Whereas
when I say, where in Spain do you live? The intonation goes up on where, and it stays up. Where in Spain do you live?
Until the end of the question.
So I'm using this intonation pattern because either Natalie had told me previously that she lives in Malaga, but I'd forgotten. So I'm seeking clarification. Oh yeah, she told me she lives in Malaga, but she told me she lived in Spain. I can't remember exactly where, but she had told me. So where in Spain do you live?
Malaga.
Ah, yes, Malaga. Or I might have misheard. So, where in Spain do you live?
Malaga.
So I'm seeking clarification because I didn't quite hear.
So you could use this intonation, for example, if you have a meeting in the morning, you were told by your boss yesterday that the meeting starts at 10, but you've forgotten, and you might ask your colleague, what time does the meeting start?
Yeah, was it 9 or was it 10? I can't quite remember. What time's the meeting?
Oh, remind me, how do I do this on the computer? So the intonation goes up, the tone rises on how, and it stays on how. How do we do this? Remind me.
Whereas if you were just requesting the information for the first time, what time's the meeting? You wouldn't have that high rising intonation that stays there, that stays up. You'd just say, what time's the meeting? How do I do this on the computer? Okay, we hope that this was enlightening for you. Please remember to look at our previous videos on our website, accentology.co.uk, and we'll see you very soon.
Accentology.